On this third Sunday of Easter, we once more find ourselves between scriptural milestones. At one, we hear of maybe 12 plus disciples gathered in a private room just now, hearing rumors of Jesus' missing body. At the same time, two other disciples, perhaps thinking the promise of a new kingdom has failed, are already on the road heading home. At a different mile marker, we hear of yet another glimpse of the future, in which Peter continues his address to the crowd gathered at Pentecost. And his appeal is so compelling that about 3,000 people are baptized. Oh, that we might experience such clarity in our own time. But how do we bridge the distance between these two milestones? At one, we find a dispirited group who seem about ready to pack it in. Yet at the other, the same group is speaking with convincing clarity and authority. In the disrupted journey between these milestones, what helps this motley crew of disciples keep it together and emerge as the foundation upon which our church is built? I argue that it is their formation as disciples, Jesus' presence, past and present, their continued gathering in community, and trusting Jesus' promise of being clothed with power from on high. And then there is the uncanny coincidence of the alignment of these readings and where we find ourselves standing today. Separated by thousands of years and thousands of miles, what our stories share in common are parallel senses of disorientation and uncertainty. Whereas the disciples are sheltering in a hiding place, disoriented by days of wondering about what just happened to their dreams of messiahship and kingdom, and facing 7 weeks of uncertainty and wondering, what's next? We find ourselves weeks into this pandemic, still trying to sort out the who, what, when, why, where, and how of our circumstance, and facing an undeterminable number of weeks of uncertainty and wondering, what's next? What are we to make of these uncanny parallels? One suggestion is to recognize that while this experience is novel to many of us and justifiably disconcerting, it is nothing new in God's creation. It has been, it is, and it will be. Thus, it behooves us to remember our history just as Jesus tells us in the breaking of the bread. Do this for the remembrance of me. Even in the midst of suffering, mourning, and uncertainty, we have the sacramental remembrance of Jesus' eternal presence. It is in the blessing and breaking of the bread that Jesus is revealed to us and through us over and over again. What begins in the narrative of the Eucharistic prayer reaches its crescendo in the fraction, the breaking of the bread following the Lord's Prayer. And whether we physically partake or spiritually partake of this communion, we are present as the body, sharing as the body, and revealed as the body of Christ to one another and the world through our shared sacramental journey. This is the certainty, the answer to what is to come for us. In concert with the sacrament of Holy Communion and each other, we have Jesus to guide us on this journey through a disrupted present toward a future that will be revealed bit by bit as we are restored once again to wholeness of mind, body, and spirit. then we will recall. Were not our hearts burning within us while he was talking to us on the road?